want to share wheat pasting skills with you, but before I do that, I just wanted to share some art that I've worked on. This here is a collaborative mural done with 4 other awesome artists here in Winnipeg. It was part of Wall to Wall Festival, which is this like mural and cultural festival that Winnipeg has every year. We'll see about this year due to what's going on, but you know, it doesn't stop people from making art. So yeah, I want to share wheat pasting with you next, and let's go see what it looks like on a wall. So wheat pasting isn't the art form itself, it's actually how you apply your art to something. That is wheat pasting. So all these little fishies here, the little fish hands, that's the art, and it's on like just this piece of paper. But how they applied that art to the wall is using wheat paste, which is just a form of glue. And I'm gonna show you how to make that. Yeah. So we're chilling in my kitchen. I'm gonna make some wheat paste now. Gonna need a pot. I'm gonna take a cup of water, put it in that pot. We're gonna put some other things in this pot too. This is a wheat paste recipe that I've worked out. At least I like the ratios to it. We're gonna need some sugar. We're gonna need 3 tablespoons. I find that this sugar will crystallize when it dries, making that paste a lot stronger, especially if you are doing a lot of art outdoors or putting your art outdoors. I find the sugar really helps a lot. I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons of flour now. So yeah, we're just making basically like a flour glue. You can use this glue for a lot of different things, not just like putting up your artwork, but if you wanna use it for paper mache, like doing sculpture, yeah, you can use this glue for a lot of different things. So now I've got my water, my 1 cup of water with my 3 tablespoons of sugar and 3 tablespoons of flour. With my fork, I'm just gonna mix it all together so that there's no clumps. This is really important because if there's clumps in it while it's cooking, then you're gonna get that in your paste. And when you're like pasting something up on the wall, you really don't want clumps in your glue. You want it as smooth as possible. So yeah, just take out all the clumps. And once all the clumps are out, now we can turn it on to almost high. My stove goes up to 10. I've put it on an 8, and I'm just gonna let it sit on here while I constantly stir and bring it up to like a boil. Once everything starts bubbling in here, I'm gonna turn off the stove because I don't want to burn my wheat paste, or else you're gonna get clumps in it, and then it's also gonna change your wheat paste color. So it won't dry clear, it'll dry with like a sepia tone to it where it's kind of like brownish. So yeah, keep constantly stirring. While you're stirring this, you're gonna notice it getting thicker and thicker, and that's like what you want. It's gonna be really goopy. You'll see, I'll show you once we get to that stage. It takes like a couple of minutes. And while this is like getting to its boiling stage, I just wanna talk to you guys about street art, public art, and vandalism. So I do a lot of like street art and public art where I like paint murals on walls, or like we paste my art onto walls. All these walls that I'm putting my art on, I have received permission from the building owner to do so. So it's not vandalism. Vandalism is when you deface, destroy, ruin, change something of someone's without their permission. Whether you're changing someone's like wall to like their car, to like any type of their property, like even like doodling on someone's book, that is vandalism. And that's not really cool. Because personally, I don't like when people draw on my stuff, especially if I'm not really into the message that they're putting out there. Usually if it's something like positive, I'm like, okay, all right, I feel that. But sometimes not all art that's put out into the world is like uplifting and like positive. A lot of social commentary happens, which I'm like really into, like questioning why things are the way they are with my artwork. But yeah, a lot of the public art, the art that I put out on the streets and in places, I'm very conscious that other people are going to be walking by it, and I want to make those other people like feel good, or I want to share something about myself that I think is important. I've been doing a lot of culture based type artwork, so I've been painting a lot of teepees and fancy shawl dancers and plant medicine and like the sacred 7 teachings, and that's what I've been doing lately with my artwork and putting that out into places. So yeah, public art is just like art that you see in public spaces that's outside of your house. Street art is art that you like find on the streets while you're like walking by. I'll admit, a lot of street art is also vandalism, where a lot of these artists who are putting up their artwork don't have permission to, and they're just doing it because of that internal drive where they need to get that message out. I don't do that. I always make sure that I have permission when I put up my artwork, because again, there's also legal repercussions. Like if you get caught for vandalizing or putting up your artwork in a public space without permission, you're gonna get fined, and then that's gonna go on your like personal record. One of my friends got caught putting up a sticker in a parking lot, and then they were fined like $500, and then that was also on their like permanent record, so they weren't able to go to the United States to go check out some bands that they really wanted to see. Me, I want to like paint internationally. I want to make my art super everywhere out on the streets. So if I have a legal record, there's a lot of places I won't be able to go to make art anymore. So I'm really conscious about that. All right, so mine's starting to bubble a little bit. Oh, I'll bring this to you. Be very careful, it's super hot. It's like boiling water. But you notice how goopy that is? That's the consistency you want for your wheat paste. And then it's pretty much done. You're ready to rock. I would just let it cool down. When it cools, it's gonna get even more thick and turn into like a jelly. Sometimes my wheat paste like gets like really hard or like really jelly, like jello. And if that happens, you just add a little bit of warm water and you stir it all together until you get like a pasty consistency, and then you can use it again. With this wheat paste, I just store it in a container, like a reusable one. You can use like an old margarine container. I have a very special one that I use somewhere. It's somewhere, I'm gonna put it in there later. But yeah, that I like keep a brush with. So now that we've made our wheat paste, it's ready to rock. I'm gonna let it cool down so that it doesn't burn me when I use it. And then I'm gonna show you how you can use wheat paste and apply it to different things. All right, now we need some art to wheat paste onto something. Stencil art made from the first tutorial I've got here. So maybe you want to personalize your stuff. Like I've got a lot of notebooks and sketchbooks that are mine, but look like everybody else's. We can change that. So you're gonna need a brush, your cooled down wheat paste, your art, something to wheat paste on. First step is to put a layer of wheat paste on the surface of like your canvas or whatever you're wheat pasting on. You know, it could be a garbage can, it could be a notebook. Just make sure that it spreads wider than your art. So now that you've got that on, you're gonna need wheat paste on the back of your art. So I'm just gonna put that on there. It's okay if you get wheat paste on the front, like what I'm doing right now. I've just laid my artwork on top of this area that I just put on. That is totally okay. Peel that off. Just spread that out quick, fast again. Now, got wheat paste on the back. These two are gonna like sit together. Shablam. And then you're gonna do one last layer of wheat paste to seal it all. Yeah, to seal it all in. Boom. So yeah, one layer on your surface, a layer on the back of the art, stick together, and then you do one sealing layer over top of everything. Boom. Let's just do this a couple more times. Get into the habit of it. Practice it. Yeah. Bam, my sketchbook. I've got a canvas here that like I painted a while ago. Yeah. Here's a drawing that I really like that I made 4 years ago. I really like the drawing. I want to keep it. So I just like made photocopies of it on a different colored piece of paper. And then I like cut them out and like I made a whole bunch of copies. So I'm gonna wheat paste my copies onto this canvas piece here. All right, so yeah, there's many different ways you can apply wheat paste into art making, whether it's on canvas or on your personal things to personalize your stuff, whether you're using wheat paste to make gifts for others. Just remember, it's a glue that you can use. It also has a shelf life, so you can store it in your fridge for like 3 to 5 days before it starts getting moldy and gross. Yeah, thanks for making art with me. I hope you enjoyed. Our last tutorial together will be making our DIY planters, and I just want to like talk about plant medicine with you too. Later.